Tesla customers will no longer need to visit a showroom to pick up their cars, as the company introduces self-delivery from factory to customer. According to Elon Musk, Tesla's CEO, this new service will make buying a vehicle more convenient than it already is. The first self-driving Model Y cars were tested on Austin public streets with no incidents, and the robo-taxi service is set to launch in June. By the end of June, customers can expect a hassle-free delivery process without dealership jargon or negotiating. When buying a car, it's essential to ask the right questions to get the best deal. However, there are certain questions that can harm your negotiation position and lead to unfavorable outcomes. According to experts, 6 questions you should never ask at a car dealership include: what's the lowest price you can give me on this car? Which can lead to a less flexible negotiation process. Can I afford this car? Which may reveal too much about your financial situation. What do you think about this other car I'm considering? Which gives salespeople insight into your research and preferences. How much do I need to put down today? Which can affect the negotiation dynamics. What's my trade-in worth? Which can lead to lowball offers. And, can you throw in some extras for free? Which weakens your negotiation stance. By avoiding these questions, you maintain a strong position throughout the negotiation and drive off the lot with satisfaction. An employee with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development was struck by an 18-wheeler while working on a traffic light in Livingston Parish, Louisiana, on June 25, 2025. The impact shattered the bucket of the utility vehicle. Details are still emerging about the incident. Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan dissented against the majority decision upholding age verification requirements for pornography websites, arguing that it dilutes First Amendment protections for sexually explicit speech. In a scathing dissent joined by Justices Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson, Kagan accused the majority of being confused in their opinion. She argued that the Texas law restricting access to adult content is a direct regulation of speech based on its content, which demands strict scrutiny. Hamas is battling to survive in Gaza, facing rebellious local clans and relentless Israeli military pressure. The Islamist group has lost its centralized command and control, with limited operational capacity remaining. Despite killing 7 Israeli soldiers in an attack on Tuesday, Hamas is struggling to maintain its grip on the territory. Israel's offensive has killed over 56,000 people, according to Gaza health authorities, and most of Hamas's top military commanders have been killed. The group is recruiting from hundreds of thousands of impoverished, young men, but its average age is decreasing by the day. A senior Hamas official said surrender was not an option, while a Palestinian analyst warned that the emergence of clans opposing Hamas posed a significant threat to the group's survival. A submersible named RAN was sent to explore the Dotson ice shelf in West Antarctica, uncovering complex structures and revealing the dynamics of ice melt. The team returned in 2024 to catalog changes, but lost contact with the AUV, which is suspected to have either run aground or been targeted by curious seals. The mission provided valuable data on the underside of the ice shelf, including high-resolution maps and measurements of underwater currents. According to Freddie Mac, the one-week average for the 30-year fixed interest rate dropped 4 basis points from last week to 6.77%. The 15-year fixed rate fell 7 basis points over the past week to an average of 5.89%. Home loan interest rates have been moving mostly sideways since mid-April, wobbling within a 15 basis point range. Over the past 52 weeks, 30-year rates have ranged from a low of 6.08% to a high of 7.04%. The Mortgage Bankers Association, MBA, expects the 30-year mortgage rate to be 6.8% in Q3 2025 and 6.7% by the end of the year. Archaeologists have discovered a lost temple from the Tiwanaku civilization, which vanished around 1,000 years ago. The international team found the temple complex in modern-day Bolivia, roughly 130 miles south of the established historical site. The discovery provides new details about the mysterious fall of the civilization and its highly organized societal structure. Researchers used photogrammetry to create a 3D approximation of the site, revealing an ancient temple measuring 410 feet long by 475 feet wide. The layout aligns with solar equinox rituals, and fragments of Keru cups were found on the ground, showcasing the site's importance as a central hub for trade and likely religious purpose. Oslo police announced charges against Marius Borg Heiby, the eldest son of Norway's crown princess, on multiple counts including rape, sexual assault, and bodily harm after a month-long investigation. The case involved a double-digit number of alleged victims, with evidence drawn from text messages, witness testimonies, and police searches. Heiby remains free pending a possible trial and is entitled to a presumption of innocence until a court rules otherwise. Critics mocked White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt after she said Iran, a totalitarian regime, had to save face following U.S. bombing of its nuclear facilities. The comment was seen as ironic, given the Trump administration's own authoritarian tendencies. A mysterious art installation featuring a video of Donald Trump dancing with Jeffrey Epstein has appeared on the National Mall, sparking outrage from the White House. The 15-second loop shows Trump's dad dance moves, including with the late disgraced financier. The stunt aims to demonstrate freedom of speech and artistic expression using political imagery. Tourists have been enjoying the installation, which is permitted through Sunday. The White House press aide, Abigail Jackson, unloaded on the anonymous creators, calling them liberal activists masquerading as artists. The installation doubles down on the administration's own words, quoting last week's White House insistence that Americans are free to display so-called art, no matter how ugly it is. Minnesota Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark lie in state at the Capitol with their beloved dog Gilbert, a golden retriever who was badly injured in the fatal shootings of 2 family members. Hundreds of people waited outside to pay respects, making Gilbert likely the first non-human to receive this honor. The Hortmans' caskets were decorated with flowers and flags, while Gilbert's urn sat between them. The family had provided foster homes for dogs training to be service animals, but Gilbert was deemed too friendly for the role. The Kremlin has stated that Estonia's readiness to host nuclear-capable NATO jets poses a direct threat to Moscow. Estonian Defense Minister Hanno Pevkur said the country is prepared to host F-35A stealth jets capable of carrying nuclear weapons if necessary. This move comes after Britain announced it would buy at least 12 F-35A jets for NATO's airborne nuclear mission. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov called this a direct danger and an example of absurd thoughts from Baltic politicians. A massive bear was caught on video roaming around a rural area outside of Los Angeles with an unexpected friend, a tiny coyote. The footage, from a police cruiser, showed the unlikely duo walking side by side like lifelong friends. According to the social media video, the bear and coyote were spotted in the middle of the night, hanging out and developing a close bond. Experts note that it's not uncommon for coyotes to tag along with bears, as they often share food scraps. The Altadena area was ravaged by wildfires last year, resulting in habitat loss for these creatures. This unlikely friendship could be a matter of survival for the duo. Scientists studying chipmunks and voles in Chicago have found that these rodents are evolving in real time to adapt to the city's environment. Over the last 125 years, their skulls have undergone significant changes due to urbanization, with chipmunks growing larger and developing shorter teeth from consuming high-calorie human food scraps. Voles, on the other hand, have developed smaller inner ears to cope with the loud noises of the city. These findings suggest that urbanization has a profound impact on wildlife populations and highlight the need for nuanced conservation plans. China has begun issuing export licenses for rare earth magnets again, but automakers and suppliers say production plans still face uncertainties due to the opaque and complex licensing system. European suppliers have received enough licenses to avoid widespread disruptions, but hundreds of permits remain pending. The rate of issuance is accelerating, with 60% of cases approved since April, but those involving US-based end users or third countries are taking longer. Automakers Volkswagen and Stellantis say their supply of rare earth components is stable, but the White House has signed a deal with China to speed up approvals without providing details. The agreement aims to resolve the rare earth issue, but neither party detailed any changes to the existing export licensing system. McDonald's has announced that its fan-favorite burger, the Daily Double, will be available nationwide through the end of 2025. The burger features 2 100% beef patties and is now the new entree option for the McValue Meal Deal Bundle starting on July 22nd. The bundle includes a customer's choice of select entrees plus a 4-piece chicken nuggets, small fries, and a small soft drink. The Daily Double comes in at 490 calories with 31 grams of fat, 31 grams of carbohydrates, and 21 grams of protein. Warren Buffett has reflected on his acquisition of Berkshire Hathaway, calling it a mistake that plagued him for 2 decades. Despite the company's remarkable turnaround, Buffett has repeatedly called it his worst investment ever. He attributed the success to a disciplined reinvestment strategy and the power of learning from mistakes.